What's up, YouTube? It's hot. I'm sweating to death. And I gotta get more work done that's not gonna be fun. Remember this frame that's been sitting for way longer than I'd like to admit? Today's the day. We're cutting this in half. I don't know if we're gonna get around to actually doing the full weld-in section, but I wanna figure out where these cuts need to go because this is a goofier type frame. 2 mounting bolts on the bottom on each side. Those are going to go right back in here on the lower stock 2 bolts of the frame. Not too bad. But in order to do that, we're gonna kind of have to creep up on where this is gonna land. So I think I'm just gonna start cutting it here and here. I don't know what we're gonna do about these castings, and I need to make sure I leave enough meat for the motor mount bolts and all of that jazz. So this is what we got here. I do have a motor down there that's complete, but let's just start cutting. I think I'll start long up here and get this clearance out of here, then I can at least lay out where the lower is gonna mount up, and then we'll start cutting this back as it gets closer on the pivot point. I think that makes sense. Wish me luck. Let me grab some cutting stuff, some safety glasses, and get you guys set up, and we will start grinding. We are just going to do some rough cuts on here. Get rid of this tail section. It will be way too long than I need it to. If we're looking at this, just kind of eyeballing here. I'm guessing we can actually cut this from here, and this is gonna land somewhere on these outer bits. This sits pretty close to flush at the bottom of the table. This gets a little bit closer. So I'm thinking it's gonna end up being right along this little area on the outside, but let's see. So where do I wanna cut this? I think I'm just gonna cut it just inside of these tabs. Why not? Here goes nothing. No going back now. Okay. And do I just want to grab a saw? I think a saw is going to be way easier than a cutoff wheel here, to be completely honest. But, we got one little bit left. Oh, this little bracket here. And one tiny little bit left. And that's how you ruin a Harley. Or make it better, one of the two. Okay. There we have it. Now we can at least start trying to lay out these lower bolts and figure out what the hell we're gonna do here. So I'll adjust the camera in a minute. Give me time. Just unbolting the oddball hodgepodge bits of hardware that are on here. Okay. There's a start. Doesn't look too shabby yet. We'll swap out this hardware at a later date, but for right now, I just want to kind of bolt these up on the bottom and see what she looks like. Please be long enough. Yes, just barely. All right, so we're running 3/8 hardware here. I think this is probably 1.5 inches, roughly. And that should serve as a rough guide for where these need to be. Overall, just cut along and creep up on it. I don't know what people usually do with this little casting section. Not sure how I feel about actually cutting that out, but this looks like it's gonna wanna start coming in up here. Got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Okay, so based on this now, we're getting close, but we still have quite a ways to line this up. Which is fine. I think we cut plenty of meat up top here. And then I'm gonna have to keep kind of cutting at this section up top to get this to lay out where it wants to be. So like I said, cut it long. We'll worry about dressing up the middle of this later. But this needs to definitely come up another 1/2 inch or so. Let me grab some 2x4s or blocks or something to put underneath this frame. Get this up a little bit. Something like that. And can't get the bolts in, so I gotta keep trimming. But I do think I want to keep trimming the frame itself here. I mean, rail-wise, it looks relatively close. I think this is gonna have to get cut on an angle, but we're gonna have to keep creeping up on that. I don't wanna cut out a big section yet. And we might have to adjust this a little bit too, but let's keep grinding. Let me take a little bit more off of this side. to happen. Come on. Come on. Phone a friend would be easier. It's definitely an easier task to try and line these up with two people. Or, if I was smart, I would just take the frame jig out over there, so it's at least stationary on me. But should be okay. So we're definitely getting closer on this side. Okay. Just gonna keep cutting. I'm gonna get this up to about here. There should be plenty of room now that I'm seeing this layout a little bit closer. So now I gotta trim up the opposite side of the frame here. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. I'm sweating like crazy. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. That one ain't easier this time. Whew. Look at me, sweat is pouring off of my face. This is terrible. It's so humid in here. And I don't have any of my fans because I had to bring them to the powder shop because it was 110 degrees in there. Powder coating things are great in the winter because I don't have to pay for a heating bill. But the summers will kick your ass, let me tell you. All right, now we should be able to actually put a nut on here, keep these kind of close. And then let's see how close we are to lining up the back side of this. Still a little more. Little more. So I don't know if I need to run this all the way forward or not. Because I need these rear legs still. I might have to get a little crafty here. We're gonna have to get crafty here. So basically the issue I'm running into is I need these legs and I really don't want to separate that section of the frame. So I think I'm gonna have to start notching some of this a little bit to bring that up and in to line up. Nothing's ever easy, is it? How close are you? could almost notch this to get that to line up a little bit better. All right. It's just not the prettiest frame in the world, let me tell you. So that's got to come up another 1/4 inch or so. And on the rails, they're not looking the absolute best. All right, let me play around with some ideas on this. We'll be back. So I got more cutting and grinding to do to creep up on this thing. I'm gonna cut this flush with the rear leg. I'm still gonna leave the legs attached, so I'm not changing the front cradle geometry at all, but we will keep going on this. The other side's actually getting pretty close. This one, I need to cut this off, but I need a longer, like a full-size cutoff wheel. I'm running 2 that are halfway worn out. And I don't have any saw blades up here for metal bits. So I could run to the other shop, maybe just live in my truck for like 2 hours with the air conditioning on, and then come back and we'll keep kind of creeping up on this. It's just metal, so I don't want to overdo it, but if I keep sectioning this a little further and a little further till I can get it close enough where that gets close, I got plenty of room on these tubes to kind of adjust the upper a little bit in terms of dressing and grinding and shaping these to go in. This hardtail kit also comes with a plate which is going to go over all of this when it's done. Now, there's a good chance that I might actually have to section the legs a little bit. I'm trying to avoid that, but I just don't know. I really, really don't know. I don't want those to move too much, but I don't know how far up this is gonna want to go. It's got a bracket welded in here as a brace. I guess the only other thing I could do, I don't know if that's even wide enough. I don't know if I need to cut out this section and then these get re-put up on the bottom of here. That just seems a little chaotic. It's a lot of fabby bits. But as of right now, I'm about an 1/8 inch away from being able to slip a bolt through here, which is why I don't want to go too crazy. I might have to cut this seat post out, the little seat tab mount at least, but that's okay. I'm guessing I should be able to land this somewhere in there, about halfway through this lower frame section. Looks like that's about where it needs to be, but we'll keep jamming away on that. But I gotta go sit in the air conditioning, go pick up more Sawzall blades anyway, so we'll be back. Well, it's been 3 hours, 4 hours. Got my new grinding discs back from the other shop. I split them, so I got them in both spots now. And then I was down on the raft. They're having a bunch of people over here tomorrow too for 4th of July, so went out there, hit all of the screws that I sunk in with angle grinders and sanders, smoothed everything out, so hopefully there won't be any splinters. We'll be back on this tomorrow morning. It's 4th of July morning, and I'll be up here working, but it's a day off, so I can actually spend a full day up here on these 2 bikes. If the battery was here, my goal was to wire that one up and have that done, but I don't think that's gonna happen till sometime next week. And the clutch stuff won't be here till next week either. So that's where we're gonna leave this one for now. We at least got the back half cut off. I'll try and turn the camera on, but if I'm sitting here cutting and grinding, I'm just gonna time lapse it as I kind of figure out where I want to end these cuts. This will be fun. Catch you on the next one.